Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy Floss, back again with another video, and today we're going to do the real review of the Samsung Galaxy Nexus. Now there's a lot of stuff I want to cover in this video, so I ain't going to waste no time bullshitting. We're just going to get right into it. Now everybody knows when I review these phones, the first thing I do is talk about everything about the phone I don't like, then everything about the phone that I do like. So let's start off with everything I don't like. Number one, the battery. Now the battery on this phone is not that great. I'm talking about the stock battery that you get when you first buy the phone. Not that great. You could get about 8 hours with heavy use. You know, that's just not cutting it. Now keep in mind, the standby time on this phone is beautiful. Let me give an example. If you go to sleep at midnight and you forget to plug your phone in and you wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning, your battery life is pretty much going to be exactly what it was when you went to sleep. So the standby time is beautiful. But as far as when you're using the phone and the screen is on and using YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and you're playing games and playing music and all of that, battery life is weak. If you look at the battery icon, you can literally see it draining in front of your eyes. I mean, it's just not cutting it. So the battery life on this is not a go. Now keep in mind, I'm using the extended battery, so I could get about 12 hours with heavy use. But if you don't buy the extended battery and you got the stock battery, you're gonna get about 8 hours. Now if you do a whole bunch of tips and tricks, like you turn the volume down, turn all the vibrations off, turn the data services off when you're not using it, then you're gonna be able to get about 10 hours out of it. But still, just not cutting it, not a go. Next, the sound. Now I'm talking about the factory sound when you first get the phone. No apps, no boosters or nothing. The sound on this phone is not that great. It's a little bit low. Now it's similar to like the HTC Evo 3D. I don't know if you ever heard that, but it's pretty low. And this is when you got your loud ringtones on and you got the volume set to max. It's just not that loud. But there's an easy way to fix that. You go to the market, and let me tell you, if you're a Nexus owner, this is a mandatory app that you need to get. Go to the market and you get Volume Plus. That's gonna change this phone completely. The sound in this phone is gonna be just as loud as the Photon, just as loud as the Epic Touch. That fixes the sound issue. But I'm just talking about stock. I don't like the sound, but once you get Volume Plus, the sound is a go. Next, and this is probably the last thing about this phone I don't like, also has to do with the sound, is when you're playing music through the headphones, it doesn't sound that great. It doesn't sound that great at all. But there's an easy way to fix that too. You go to the market and you download Power Amp. I advise you to get the paid version because this is an app that you're gonna wanna keep and you're gonna wanna use on all your Android devices, from now on. Power Amp. Once you get that and you run your music through Power Amp, it has a full equalizer and all that. It sounds beautiful, okay? So that remedies that problem. So you got two problems that have to do with sound, but both of them could be easily fixed with third-party apps. Now, let's talk about what I do like about the phone. First off, the build. The build quality on this phone is top of the line. Top of the line. This is what you expect to get when you spend $650 off contract for a phone. I mean, it just looks beautiful. It feels great. It's plastic, but it doesn't have that extra cheap plastic feel like the Epic Touch. It feels plastic, but it's a little bit heavier. So it gives you a little bit more weight in the phone, which feels great. It feels like, you're getting your money's worth. Now, it doesn't have the chrome, like the metal, like the iPhone and the BlackBerry. It's 100% plastic, but it still has a nice solid feel to it. So the build quality in this phone is a definite go. Definite 10 on the build. Next thing about this phone that I like is the display. The display on this phone is beautiful, and I'll show you what I'm talking about right now. This phone has the 720. Y'all know I'm not gonna spec y'all out and all that, but I will drop one spec on you. 720p HD resolution display. All right. Now it uses the pen tile display. A lot of people don't like the pen tile. Me personally, I like it. I got the Photon. I like the pen tile, but with the Super AMOLED display on this, it's just ridiculous. Look, I don't know if you could really see it from the camera, but when anything that's on this phone that's black is extra black. It just looks beautiful. All the colors look bright and vibrant. That's why I don't use a screen, I don't have any wallpaper with the Nexus because you want to see that black background. It just looks beautiful. You can't tell where the screen ends. You don't see no lines. So it just looks beautiful. That's why if you get a Nexus, I recommend using a black wallpaper. It just looks beautiful. Trust me. 4.6.5-inch display. I mean, let me show you what it looks like when you're watching a YouTube video on this. It just looks beautiful. The display on this is amazing. All right, so I'm gonna pull up a YouTube video. Let's see what I got on deck real quick. pull up something that let's see, Skyrim walkthrough. All right, if you're into video games, show you what it looks like. I mean, with ICS, you don't have any hardware buttons, so the screen is going to take up, you know, the full screen. It just looks beautiful. Trust me, the display is a definite go. Beautiful display. So that's one thing about the phone I definitely like. Next, the LED. Now, a lot of phones these days don't have LED lights on them. I'm a big fan of LEDs. You see that green light flashing? That's the LED. You see it just turn red? Now, when you first get the phone, you can't adjust the, you can't adjust the colors on the LED. But there's a third-party app that you get, and I'll tell you about that later. You could get and change the LED colors. So just now, when you see it flashing red, that means I know I got a Gmail notification. When it's flashing green, I got a text message. I got yellow, orange. I mean, LED is a big plus. All right, so that's a definite go. I like the LED notification system. This way, when you got your phone on silent or you got your phone somewhere else and you can't hear it, you could just look at it and you can see your notifications. So that's a definite go. Next, one of the best things about this phone is the Android 4.0 operating system, the ice cream sandwich. I mean, ice cream sandwich is a definite win. Let me show you a few. I'll just go into it. I'm not going to go too deep into ice cream sandwich, but I'll show you a few features on this phone that are just crazy. First off is the facial recognition software, the facial unlock. Let me show you what that is. All right, you see when I turn the phone on, it's looking for a face. If it doesn't see it, then you have to put a code in. All right, so let's power it back off. Now I'll use the facial lock. So I just turn it on, point it at the face, and it pops right open. All right, so you can see that. I'll do it again. All I gotta do is turn the phone on, point it at the face, pops right open. That's a hot feature. All right, trust me. Now, if you like me and you into hot tech stuff and you like all the new futuristic gadgets and all that, this is a definite win. All right, that little feature right there is a definite win. Next, I'll go into a little bit with the ICS. I'll show you a couple of features that separate the ICS from the Gingerbread. Let's take a look at the voice to text. All right, now you got the ice cream sandwich keyboard. Everybody knows you could get that from the market and all that, but this is the stock ice cream sandwich keyboard. Let's use the voice text. Now, when you type in with the voice text, as you can see, it's just gonna fill out all the words. You don't have to stop and press backspace. It fills out all the words. It brings them up separately. You could backspace if you want, but everything works on this beautiful. Beautiful. It just dictates as you type. I mean, and it, believe me, it's very good. Very rarely have I made a few mistakes while I'm doing this. Now, if you're using this somewhere where somebody else is talking next to you or the TV is on, it might pick up some of the TV and all of that, but the voice text is a definite go. Definite. Also, when you're using the ice cream sandwich, you're gonna notice that you got a lot more animations. Everything is more vibrant, everything is more colorful. Let's take a look at the drop-down menu. When you're using the drop-down menu, now if I had any notifications that had pictures in it, you would see the actual picture with the notification, which is way different from the Gingerbread where you just get the icon. You'll get the actual picture. So that's just, little features like that just make a big difference, especially to me, because I like all the new stuff. So the new drop-down menu is nice. As you can see, you can take it straight to the settings from it, or you could just go back home. Everything about the ice cream sandwich is all about animations. The new animations on this, everything is hot. Let me show you the task manager. Now, before, if you have a whole bunch of apps running, you got to open the task manager to kill them. Now you just hit the button. You got all your recently used apps. And you could just scroll over and, get rid of the ones you don't want to use. And it works beautiful. Also, with the ICS and the Nexus, you're getting Google Wallet. Now, if you never used Google Wallet before, Google Wallet is a definite go. I'm not going to really get too deep into that right now, but Google Wallet is a definite win. Google that for yourself and take a look at Google Wallet. That's on the Nexus. Next, the multitasking. Multitasking on this phone is off the hook. All right. Now, when you're using the Epic or using, other Android phones, the maximum amount of windows you can use open at once are 8. So a lot of times if you're on the web and you got 8 windows open and you click on something else, it's going to say you got to close something out before you use that next one. Not with ICS. ICS, you can have as many windows open as you want, and I'll give you an example right now. Use the face unlock, open the joint up, let's take it to the web real quick. Also with ICS, I don't know if you into labs and all that. If you never had honeycomb before, then you don't know about labs. But you could go to the web settings and change the labs on this, and I'll show you what that means. Now with the lab settings, all you got to do is, you see how I just moved my finger to the side? It pops up, and then now I could scroll to all my open windows. I could just add another window. Now if I want to get another window or see what I'm using right now, got everything that's open right now, or I could just straight up open another window. And with Ice Cream Sandwich, you can have as many web pages as you want. I've had 15 web pages open at the same time. Okay? Now with the Epic and other Android phones that I got, the Photon and the Evo and all of that, you can only have 8 windows open at a time. So is that a big deal? Not really, but for me, multitasking, this is a major win. Major win. And also you just swipe out anything that you're not using. You know, you got your bookmarks. I mean, Amazon works beautiful. Web speeds. Now everybody knows this is a Verizon network, one of the best networks out, if not, in my opinion, the best. Web speeds, beautiful. Beautiful. Now you got the transitions. Now, a lot of people complain that it takes a second to transition, but it looks nice. And when it transitions, it doesn't just flip, you could actually see it rotate. So that's a nice little feature. You could go to settings if you want and take the labs off. I'll show you what it looks like without the labs. All right, without the quick controls. Now when I'm on the web page, I could just hit that button, see everything I'm using, go to my bookmarks, add something else. You see, when using Ice Cream Sandwich, there's no hardware buttons. So whenever you want to hit a menu, you're going to have to look for these 3 dots. So whenever you see those 3 dots, that's the menu. And every application, they put the 3 dots somewhere else. Let me give you an example. Let's take a look at the Gmail. I'll pull up something on Gmail real quick. You see, when I pull up a Gmail, now the 3 dots are on the bottom as opposed to the top. So Ice Cream Sandwich is a definite go. That's one of the best features about this phone. Top of the line, cutting edge software. Top of the line. Multitasking at its finest. Trust me. Let me show you some more of this multitasking stuff. Like I said, you can have as many apps open as you want. I've had 25 apps open at the same time. Then you just kill them individually. No more task managers, all right? No more having to use task managers. No more having to worry about how many web pages got open at once. And for those of us who use Twitter a lot, you know what I'm talking about. When you're always hitting the different Twitter links and you gotta be worried about how many web pages got open, you're not gonna have that problem with the Nexus. Next, something that I really like about this phone is the camera. Now, a lot of people complain about the 5 megapixel camera. They're saying that the still pictures ain't that great. But you know, I'm not a professional photographer. I'm just using this to take pictures on the go and all of that. And I advise you, if you go into your daughter's graduation or you go into a wedding, bring a real camera. Don't use a cell phone camera. This is perfect for what it's designed for, which is taking pictures on the go. And it takes pictures beautiful. You've seen the camera test video for yourself. This camera has the best sound out of any video camera I used yet. When you're recording with this and the sound, beautiful. Let's take a look at the camera also. Also with the camera, you got so many options. Now, like I said, I'm not really into photography, so you got exposure, you got the flash, you got all these different settings. You know, half of them I don't even know what they mean, or I don't even use them, but, you know, if you're into photography, trust me, then you'll like this. And also, one thing about this is the no shutter lag. That's the most important part of this camera. Check this out. Picture after picture after picture. All right, that's a certified go right there. That's a definite go. Next, what I like about this phone, and which is probably the most important part of a phone, is the call quality. Now, the call quality on Verizon's network is already good, but with the Nexus, the call quality is a major go. The noise cancellation on this phone works beautiful. You could be outside, and the person you're talking to, they won't even know you outside. That's how good it sounds. Take my word for it. The call quality in this is beautiful. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm still giving this phone a 10. Everybody wants to know, is this the best Android phone out right now? I'm gonna have to say yes. This is definitely the best Android phone out right now. As you can see by the shirt, this phone is still floss certified, seal of approval. This phone is a certified go. Certified, all right? This is the top of the line Android phone out right now. You heard it from me, all right? Now, I'm gonna compare this phone with the Galaxy Epic Touch. That's going to be my next video, and I'll get a little bit deeper, all right? Shout out to everybody that follow me on Facebook, Foursquare, Twitter. Shout out to all the Google gangsters and all that. I'll see y'all out there. I'm going to catch y'all on the next trip. It's your boy Floss. I'm out. Deuces.